Spider-Man. He's a fictional comic book character created by writer-editor Stan Lee and writer-artist Steve Ditko back in 1962. In all the years since then, Spider-Man has become a household name, basically being the favorite amongst any superheroes by a very large margin. And the character is featured in many media, such as comics, big budget movies, small budget movies, games, TV shows, cartoons, whatever the hell this is, t-shirts, action figures, drink bottles, tricycles, TVs, cosplays, events and gatherings, and even movies. So you may be thinking to yourself, wow, with all this popularity and notoriety surrounding the character, can it even be topped? If you are thinking this, then that's a really oddly specific question to be asking. But also, that's exactly what we're going to be looking at, baby! Because what can be better than Spider-Man? If not a Spider-Man 2. In all my years of living on this mortal coil, there have been 3 attempts at this so far. And yes, you're right, that is an absurd amount of sequels for a character to have. So if there have been this many different franchises and iterations of the character, how can we determine which one is the best one? Well, we're going to be using science, of course. Did you even read the title? So the way to relay the science into something seemingly subjective is to actually break down what makes a good Spider-Man movie and also break down what makes a good movie. So what this would mean for our 8-legged friend is that we're going to be looking at both the subjective and objective in order to find out which Spider-Man reigns supreme. And what better and more scientific way to do this than with some good old-fashioned mathematics? The end goal of our experiment is to actually create a formula in which we can output 3 definitive scores for each of the movies, and the higher score being the better movie. Science is what I call it. But what actually contributes to the score, huh? What are the variables? Does anyone from the audience want to say anything? No? Fine, I'll do all the work then, you fucking dickheads. A simple, naive way to go about this would just be to do a movie review where it's a rating out of 10. While there is merit in this, I don't really think there's much science behind people who say, what is this feminism bull that feminism has taken over the Marvel, I am done with this, bye! Therefore, we should probably attribute our score to the following variables and the following multipliers in order to find out definitively and scientifically and objectively and kind of subjectively, I guess, what is the best of the Spider-Mans 2. But with that being said, I think a scientist needs to be, familiar with the materials that he has to work with. So, I think this calls for a good old-fashioned... I mean, there's only 3 movies. There shouldn't be that much to get through. Spider-Man 2 started off with Peter being like, spaghetti and meatballs. And then Spider-Man just got to bust a fat one like. And then Peter was just like, man, I don't even like Spider-Guy anyway. And then newspaper guy's like, hey, fuck you, man. And then Peter comes home and Harry's just like, my father will hear about this. And then MJ's like, fuck you, Spider-Man, I am married now. And then May's like, and then his professor is like, and then every female in this movie is like, because Dr. Octopus creates the fucking sun. Well, Spider-Man catches wind of this. And the Doctor is just like, okay. And then Spider-Man's just like, fuck you guys, I quit. Drops keep falling on my head. Drops keep falling on my head. But then Spider-Man's like, shit, I need to go buy a prescription for these shitty glasses. And then he goes and finds the optometrist and beats the shit out of him. And then he makes up with his boss's daughter-in-law. So the Amazing Spider-Man is like, hey yo, what if we make shitty James Bond movie that no one cares about? And then the director was like, yo, what if we just make the whole movie shitty though? Yo, the Spider-Man goes up to the criminal and is like, has anybody lost a large roll of $20 bills in a rubber band? And then the criminal is like, sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Man, but I have to cause civilian casualties right now. Feel free to stop me at any time though. And then Spider-Man's like, nah fam, I got you. But then Spider-Man sees dead ghost and is just like, girl, that ass ain't thicker than a bowl of oatmeal no more. But then Jamie Foxx is like, huh, these eels look friendly. But then Harry's just like, I got some fucking green goblin disease, man. But then random ass kid is like, I'll solve the energy crisis. But then Peter's dad's like, I'm still missing ya punk ass bitches. But then Oscorp's like, let's perv on these 2 boys. But then girlfriend is like, I'm moving too far from home. But then Amen's like, nah. But then Electro's like, man, I bet you guys forgot I was in this movie. But then Fedora Man is just like, but then Criminal Man is back and is just like, hey man, I'm a fucking giraffe. And then MJ's just like, fuck this, I'm out. Spider-Man far from Final Fantasy just like, hey man, I just want some pussy out here. Your wish is my command, says Will Smith Genie. Oh shit. Then can you also give me a shitty ass suit? Anything for you, brother. You got one last wish, man. What shall it be? Yo, you ever see the Lizzie McGuire movie? Alright, so now that we've established what actually happens in these godforsaken movies where boy beats man with punch, we should probably just start off with a quick review of each of these bad boys. So these movies already have general plot points that I've already established with the punchies and the making out, but if we had to distill each of these movies down even further than that, we could say that Raimi Man 2 is the cinematic one, The Gazing Spider-Man is the dramatic one, and Spider-Man Far From His House is the fun time matic one. Let's first take a look at what makes this one feel cinematic. Starting out, you got the opening credits that do a great job recapping all you missed in the previous season. You got the wonderful orchestral timeless score, increasing the grandeur without being overly bombastic, like another theme I know. And just the whole vibe when watching the movie just makes it feel like it has its own identity and themes to convey. This movie really lets you see Peter struggle as Spider-Man and the consequences for taking up the responsibility left for him. It's this notion of willpower and the true impacts of doing the right thing, even when it's not the easiest, that really creates a strong identity and relatability to the character of Peter. Far From Home takes a similar approach to the strength of this theme by having Tom Holland Parker have issues with being Spider-Man because his vacation keeps getting interrupted. Talk about privilege, mate. At least you're on vacation. Toby Parker can't even afford rent, let alone a holiday. But it ain't just the theme department that gets all the love and care, because you could call Spider-Man 2 a theme park. See what I did there? It's got the funny side characters. It's got the Netflix comedy special. And it's got the mintest fucking action my 5-year-old mind has ever seen in cinemas. Like, holy shit, that train sequence is the coolest fucking thing ever. I mean, just look at this dodge. If you say this ain't the coolest thing ever made, I will tell your mama you are the worst thing ever made. All these elements really culminate together once under the guise of the struggle of being Spider-Man, which altogether gives Raimi's version its strength and identity. But funnily enough, it's also struggle that gives the Amazing Spider-Man one its identity too. And by struggle, I mean the struggle of being a good movie. Holy shit, this movie was a slog to get through. Oh my god. This movie was all over the place, man. Whenever I would watch movie reviews, I would often hear the word pacing thrown about without having any knowledge on what exactly it meant. But I've now realized that, put simply, if while watching a movie you have to stop and look at the clock on how much longer it's going to be, it's got bad pacing. And boy, this movie had it in strides. So much unnecessary downtime, or just straight up Naruto filler bullshit. Pretty much the only real saving grace of this movie was with Gwen and Peter. Their chemistry is so palpable and cute that you really can't help but root for them, even if they are nuisances to traffic because of it. And while we're on the big list of positives, I gotta say, the web swinging in this movie is phenomenal. The motion and the weight of Spider-Man feels so real, and it's something I haven't really seen replicated in movies past or present. But with all these positives out of the way, there is a reason why I label this one to be the dramatic one, because holy shit, this movie feels so dreary and bleak compared to the other two, and just downright despicable at times. Like, take any interaction between Aunt May and Peter in this movie.
Can I just do my it's just underwear,
This is
please?
my laundry, my home, my...
They just sound like they want to rip each other's throats out most of the time. And I think the drama is emphasized by the amount of bloat this movie's got, because in total, and yes, I counted, this movie has 12 fucking concurrently running plot lines in one movie. This movie just made me feel queasy and bored for the majority of the runtime. It had my attention for the last 20 minutes, and that was about it. So when I moved on to Far From Housing Commission, it was a real nice breather. This movie just exuded fun and chill, you know? It's the kind of movie you can sit on the couch and watch with a beer, you know? The kind of movie that you can show to your friends while drinking a beer, you know? The kind of beer you can show to your couch while drinking a movie, you know? I might have a drinking problem. Not gonna lie though, it was more so the out-of-costume things about the movie that I was really invested in. I hate to admit it, but I was once a slice-of-life anime fan, and seeing Peter and his dickhead friends just fucking around like real kids just really did it for me. Everyone in this movie feels really authentic when it comes to the ensemble, which really gave it its fun identity. But with that being said, there is one person in the ensemble that I recently found to be kind of the worst in all these Marvel movies, and that's Nick motherfucking Fury. This dude's just a hypocritical asshole the entire movie, telling Spider-Man, you're not ready to be Spider-Man. But also I'm gonna kidnap you and make you fight an Avengers level threat even though you don't really want to and you aren't ready for. But I'll still yell at you for it. And before I get comments saying, oh no, that's not actually shut the fuck. I don't care. He still sucks. Mysterio is a fucking G though. So charismatic whether or not he's faking being a superhero or even faking being an actor. So with all my thoughts out there, I gotta say Spider-Man Maguire has got the sympathetic villain, the great action, the cinematic themes down pat, earning it a 9 out of 10. Spider-Man, he's moving out now, has got the great character dynamics and the chill vibes. Some hiccups ultimately lead it to being a solid 8, I reckon. And yeah, we don't talk about this one. But with that being said, you know, a movie review isn't everything that makes up a good Spider-Man movie. So I'm going to throw it over to you where you can talk more about Spider-Man. Thanks, you handsome devil. Well, as we can probably gather, you know, from being Spider-Man, I think Tobey Maguire's portrayal is probably the best by a long shot. Wait, how can you be so conclusive about that? I mean, like, you know, you didn't even give the other two Spider-Man a chance, or, you know, I mean, even Tom Holland, you know, like, I really think he has it in the bag. Ahem. Have we forgotten that Andrew Garfield can ride a skateboard? Okay, well, I think that Tobey really exemplifies, you know, the nerdy side that is Peter Parker. You know, the mix of shy and awkward really makes for a relatable character even when he has, you know, like superhuman strength. Well, I think Holland portrays the nerdy side in a more like modern way where you're not constantly bullied for it, you know? And his dynamic with all the other characters seems, you know, a lot more lively and genuine, you know, when compared to the dead performance that Tobey gives. Were we watching the same movie? Did you see how heartbreaking that scene was where Peter had to confess to Aunt May like what really happened to Uncle Ben and how he got him killed? At least this Peter actually has, you know, emotional stakes, you know, unlike yours where he's just complaining while he's on holiday and goofing off with his friends. Well, at least Tom's an actual competent Spider-Man, you know, coming up with ways to outsmart his opponents and trying to climb his way out of the shadow of other heroes, you know, it's very admirable. Tobey's a way more competent Spider-Man, you know, like stopping trains, speaking heart to heart with the enemy, coming up with bangers like, here's your change! Guys, I think we're all forgetting something. And that would be Andrew Garfield calls Electro sparkles. Andrew Garfield lets civilians die in order to keep his stand-up bit going. I mean, yeah, he does have a point, you know, like Andrew tends to not take his job as seriously as he should, you know, like remember that scene where Electro came on for the first time? Peter, instead of, you know, taking out Electro as soon as he possibly could have, he spends the time to put on a fucking fireman's hat. Yeah, well, Tobey just stands around and eats a hot dog while crime is happening, and Tom almost gets a fucking drone to kill his classmate. Yeah, well, that's different. I mean, Tom Peter was still learning how to use sort of the, you know, the Tobey was actually gave him, you know, he was going through some, even though he did make changes and that he was going to If we're all fighting about which Spider-Man is best, then I think that we could all just agree on one thing. Is that Andrew has the best suit, right? I mean, yeah, okay, I guess it looks pretty nice, you know. I mean, yeah, it does look better than Tom's red and black design. Yeah. You guys want to make out? Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? So, when talking about memorability, I just wanted to make sure that people could actually remember what happened in any of these Spider-Man movies, because for me, it kind of all conglomerated into one big ball of spiders. What was the line? I forgot to make an intro for this bit. So, everyone, you are gathered here today to finally put the long-awaited question to work. To put the long-awaited question to rest.
I think we need a new host.
Alright, someone else want to do it? Alright, so today pretty much what we're going to be doing is figuring out which Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man 2. We are testing how memorable any of these movies are, so I'm going to quiz you using Kahoot. In total there are 3 Spider-Man 2 movies, so we're going to be looking at Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 2.
I've only watched one, I think.
What's the other two Spider-Man 2?
I've watched all of them, but they're all fucking not memorable. So I don't know what the fuck to do.
Well, this is exactly what this quiz is going to be about, so this is exactly what I need.
What are we doing with our nicknames?
I guess they could be as racist as you like. Sure. Okay, wait, how many AA are on? Nice, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
You actually went through with it.
I guess to incentivize the pot, we'll say that the winner of this quiz will get to shout out whatever they want for 30 seconds. So,
oh no.
When did Spider-Man 2 come out? I'm looking for good, honest tries here.
What?
Damn it.
Question.
Alright, I see we have a very mixed sort of response here.
I mean, it was a tough
Alright,
question.
what does Uncle Ben say? With great power. Fuck, I've been shot.
Oh, which fucking idiot tries to circle?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I heard him say triangle in the...
Alright, statement. Dr. Octopus robs a bank in this movie. True or false?
Rubs?
Robs. Alright, who was that one? I want to know.
Dude, I told you! I've only watched one movie!
What does JJ, the newspaper man, call Spider-Man? He doesn't care about Spider-Man, a menace, a hero, gay.
Who says gay?
Probably the toughest
my God,
question.
what the
What kind of cake does Peter eat in this scene?
Just a set of crumbs.
You just gotta play the crumbs, bro. What are you talking about?
Holy shit! Everyone got it wrong.
Yeah, I was looking at the plate. I was like, oh, that looks like vanilla, so I chose vanilla.
Wait, what are you? Where
Yeah.
how did you add up this cake? What the fuck?
I'm a professional cake.
Alright, so next we're going to be moving on to The Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Oh
which
my
is the second 2 in the 2 universe.
Oh, this is what the 3 twos are.
The 2-universe, you could say.
Yeah, nice.
What is Peter Parker's name in this movie? It's me, Uncle Ben. I'm still shocked from the previous question. Fuck. Alright, who is this?
Genuinely. Fuck!
Electro robs a bank in this movie. True or false?
Yeah, he's up there.
Peter has a dad in this movie. What's his name?
I can't answer this one. I just chose Richard Parker because I thought it'd be funny if they nicknamed him Dick Parker.
Alright, what does Harry Osborn inject into himself to turn into the Green Goblin?
G Fuel. It's definitely G Fuel.
I feel fucking lied to.
Okay, I think next we're going to be moving on to the third number 2 movie in the Spider-Man 2 universe, which is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, I thought Homecoming.
You come in your home? Bro, what the fuck?
What else do you?
Alright,
Okay.
what character does Tom Holland play in this Spider-Man movie?
Oh, nice. Like the video.
I should have given a point to that one person over there, because
Exactly.
it is good to like the video and subscribe. What is this guy's hero name?
Johnny Sins. How is...
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if they casted Johnny Sins, that'd have been amazing. Vez, you watch too much
man.
Johnny Sins. Anyway,
Alright, true or false? There is at least one bank robbery in this movie.
I don't know. Oh, that's something great! I always assume a bank gets robbed.
What are these villainous creatures called?
The Elements.
The fuck?
You know what? Fuck it.
Oh my god, it's the Elemental. What is this? Fucking D&D?
I was gonna say, why the fuck would you... No, because you laughed at it, you made me doubt myself.
What does Peter want to give to MJ as a gift? As seen below.
A BJ.
Good 15?
Yeah.
Weird, bro. I didn't know that.
I wonder who the winner is. 11 out of 10,
Yeah,
15. It's
Oh, Ben shot, you dropped out.
Yeah.
Smile coming in second.
Who's it? It's actually Taco, and he rigged me. And my name's there at least.
I'm glad it's not on the podium. Like, I don't want to
Damn
fucking...
it.
Alright, well, yeah, if you have 30 seconds to shout out whatever you want directly into camera, go ahead.
Signing off here. I promise none of us are actually racist. Please don't cancel Timecodes.
Hey, speak for yourself, buddy.
Next up, another good factor in good movies is how they actually present themselves to the outside world. And you know that old saying, never judge a book by its cover? Well, you should judge a Spider-Man movie by its shitty poster. So that's what we're going to be looking at now. Get out of here. In light of the question, which Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man 2, we're going to be looking at the posters and promotional material that have been available throughout all the different Spider-Man movies. Some of them being good, some of them being Spider-Man Homecoming poster. And yeah, I just thought we'd take a look at it because your expertise revolve around a very useful art degree. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I have an animation degree and I don't know what to do with it.
Very unrelatable circumstance there. Thought it would be nice to have a look through the different materials that we have to work with in the Spider-Man 2 averse. So starting off with a classic. I don't know if you do you remember seeing this poster when it came out or whatever?
No. I was like 5.
Coming up next is, you remember like in year 8 when like we had to learn Photoshop for the first time? This is kind of giving me those vibes.
It's not scented. It's really annoying me.
Yeah. I appreciate that this poster, it just has the number 2 on it.
Maybe it's just a movie called 2.
This is the second movie ever made.
It's pretty good for the second movie ever made.
What was the first movie?
First movie ever made is just called Film.
Film, and then the hit sequel 2. The movie is now called Choice for some reason. It's like when Instagram, like you can like apply like 2 or more filters on it. It's kind of like that.
I just noticed though, like the gargoyle, it's kind of angled, like it's just going. He's gonna fall off.
Oh, right. Yeah, the gargoyle is like angled so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, like you should be seeing the city skyline, like, you know, kind of lower down around his knee area. But they wanted to
Yeah.
show off that this amazing, strange city where the sun sets at night. I mean, the sun does set at night.
So anyway, this poster, does it do anything for you?
What strikes my attention is the May 2, and that just makes me really want to see like an Aunt May movie. Aunt May, like you never see her feelings, like her husband has died. Imagine an indie film. There's probably fan fiction out there for Aunt May.
All right, moving on. So next up, we have the traditional protagonist with villain back turn and everyone looking at camera.
I hate that Harry Potter made this a thing.
Yeah, this looks like a YA novel.
It looks like the book novelization.
Look down here. Gwen's legs are like they look cropped out, but it's the color of her boots. Like it looks like her legs are cut out.
It's like you know, all the artists like who just start drawing, they would never draw the legs. It looks like that.
The funny thing about the poster is that in a whole sort of piece like this, it looks like fine. But then when you break it up into the promotional material it's supposed to be, like as in where the black bars are, or it's supposed to be 1 poster each, the 2 outermost posters will just get a shot of Spider-Man's arm for no reason.
There's a K-pop group called Pentagon. There's a thing, whenever you buy albums, you get little cards with like your idol's faces on them, so you can look at them and do with them as you please, sell them on the black market. For some reason, Pentagon, they will always just have cards with just pictures of like body parts. So like a leg or like an arm. That's what this would be. It's just Spider-Man's arm for you to thirst over.
Lucky last. I
Oh,
think this one's pretty cool.
this is Spider-Man the musical. I want to watch this.
Yeah, remember this? Spider-Man,
Yeah,
he's kind of doing the Black Widow pose, you know, where like the ass is out towards the camera.
But it's not like that stops them from doing it with like teenage girls. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean...
Posters! I mean the posters!
You know when like a bird is gonna like shit on your car? It kind of looks like that. Next,
Hey, this one's pretty good.
yeah, I just, what makes me uncomfortable about this is not the actual poster, but just the sheer amount of like leg power you would need to hold yourself up like that.
Yeah, okay, can we move on?
Last one.
Wait, why is this about MJ?
No, this is Spider-Man Far From Home. How could you get that from the poster?
This is like a gritty like World War II movie. Spider-Man went off to war.
When will my husband return back from the war?
8 pizzas out of 10.
A 7 pizzas out of 10. I'm just gonna give this like a 4.
This one, you know, invokes a lot of mystery. Like, what's under that mask? It can't be his face because it doesn't match.
You pull it off and it's just Mr. Dickovich asking for rent.
Rent.
Okay, actually, because of that, I'm gonna bump it up to a 6.
Just gets 9 pizzas for me.
I'm gonna give this one like a 9 just because it boldly just says 2.
I think the more I look at it, the more it makes me uncomfortable. Okay, this one gets 1 pizza.
Oh, I'm going to give this one a 7. It loses points because choice. It's a terrible movie title.
Like when I first started art and like I didn't know how to color balance or like do lighting or anything, so I would just kind of like contrast everything and put lights everywhere to make it look really cool. It reminds me too much of that, so this gets 1 pizza.
A 6.
I say 2 pizzas because I really I want this May indie movie to come out.
I guess it gets bonus irony points, so I'll give it like a 7.
I think you're being too harsh. I think this is a 9.
I mean, as a whole, I would give it like a 7, but just purely breaking it down into what the posters would actually look like, I'd probably have to give it like a 4.
Yeah, this gets a 4.
Yeah, I'll give this one like an 8.
So this one gets 10 pizzas because I want to see Spider-Man the musical.
Can I give negative points? It gets a 1. I would have given it a 0, but the 1 comes from the Scarlett Johansson butt out approach pose.
I give it no rating because it hasn't come out yet.
It's still coming soon. This one, I would give it like maybe like an 8.
No, it's kind of average though. It's like a solid 7.
This one, I'm gonna have to give maybe a 7 as well.
This poster gets 5 out of 10.
I don't even know what the fuck to rate this poster. It gets a 3.
10 out of 10 pizzas.
Oh, 10 out. Jesus Christ. Merch. Everyone likes merch, right? Like, do you like merch? I like merch. This is technically even my university's merch. Like, I had to buy it for a physics-based subject that I was doing, and you know, I dropped it 3 weeks later, and this did cost me like $40, and the store doesn't exactly issue refunds or anything, but merch.
Oh, it's Lego Spider-Man, that'll do. I mean, I guess this has to do with Tom Holland and stuff, right? This kind of looks like Tom Holland, I think. What do you think of this toy? Someone just got shot and died. Driving a car, you know, Spider-Man's known to drive cars a lot of the time.
Unfortunately for him, Spider-Man isn't actually known to drive cars. Actually, maybe this one can, because I have no idea who this one is. I just kind of went into a store expecting Tobey Maguire Spider-Man to still be here, not realizing that it's not 2004 anymore. God, I wish it was.
Alright, so here's the problem. It's just awful of this guy. Oh, where are the contenders? Spider-Man isn't cool anymore. It's all about Fortnite and Xbox. And dressing fashionably? What the hell? What happened?
Yes, it turns out Spider-Man just isn't in style with the kids these days, which is weird because that's all I dressed up as a kid.
Okay, we got one. Yay. There's a balloon. Oh, wait. I mean, you can be COVID safe with Spider-Man.
So, last time I checked, Andrew Garfield isn't a cartoon, so, who the fuck are these ones? How can I even review the merch for each movie when I got anime Spider-Man here instead?
Ah, here we go. Here we go. Now, who's that, you reckon? Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland?
Oh, Andrew Garfield.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth looks kind of different here. So.
This is definitely Tobey Maguire.
Okay, who's that then? Is that Samuel Jackson? Oh, pizza time. Alright, there we go. Tobey Maguire. Gotten down. Why does Spider-Man have like a bulbous head?
Yeah, that's definitely Tom Holland.
Oh, here's something. Ish.
Oh, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you get a fucking Amy Schumer looking thing. Ah, there we go. What? Why is his hand so big? What do you do?
I don't know how that's supposed to be entertaining.
Ah, there we go. It's a nice ride. That's definitely Andrew Garfield, right?
Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna go home. Remember back in the day when everything would have a tie-in movie, you know, like TV shows, movies, even games? Yeah, I just wanted to look at that shit. I don't really know why. Are these intros really necessary?
Alrighty folks, so today we're going to be talking about the tie-in games for these movies. So what that means is that we're going to be looking at what makes these games good, great, and overall, very good. Seeing if the gameplay makes me engage, the story makes me feel, and the graphics make me come. And we're going to deep dive into it right now. Oh, good golly. Oh, great googly moogly. Oh, fuck.
Memes, you've heard of those. Why am I here? Alright, so another factor that determines how well a movie is doing is to see how well it's doing in the meme department. And what better way to do that than to dive headfirst into the filth that is Reddit. So I enlisted the help of 2 fellow neckbeards in order to come up with a meme each, using each of the 3 Spider-Man movies as a template. And they just sent them to me now, so we'll just take a look. Whenever Cardi B comes on the radio, I hate this song. Very nice. Me when my friend suggests we watch Spider-Man 2 together, but she puts on Spider-Man Far From Home. This is something at work. Wait, is this even from Spider-Man 2? Oh, what's your favorite Spider-Man movie? Me? Probably Spider-Man 2. Go. OMG, yes. I love Andrew Garfield in that one. Me. I would totally kiss you, but I think I just threw up in my mouth a little. Oh my god, this was hilarious. I wonder who made it. So, having these Marvel memes now in my possession, I promptly uploaded them to r/Marvel memes, and I will leave them to stew and marinate for a little bit before I go back and check on them and see how well they're doing. The goal for this experiment is to see which of the 3 movies has the most meme potential. 3 movies, and we can calculate this by seeing how many upvotes each meme gets in a given time frame. And for those Raimi fans out there, I thought, oh, why not? I just posted something on r/Raimi memes, and you know, just for a bit of fun. That's about it. I'm probably not going to use it for this video or anything. Alright, it's been about 2 days since we let those memes sit around, so let's go check on them. Alright, yeah, my one on Far From Home is sitting at 35 upvotes, very nice. Spider-Man 2 one is sitting at 34, damn, very close. And the Amazing Spider-Man one is at a cool 27. Damn, these are some pretty good results actually, like it's a pretty good healthy range and way more upvotes than I expected them to get, you know, being completely new. Oh yeah, I forgot I posted that other one on that other subreddit. Let me just see how well it's doing. You know, I'm probably not gonna need it for the video, but what the fuck? Alright, so now that we have established our base variables and I've gotten a decent haircut, I thought we could spice things up with some multipliers. But what do I mean by multipliers? It's just extra crap I wanted to throw in. So leading into our first multiplier, what is the first thing that you or anyone else thinks of when I say the phrase Spider-Man 2? I'll give you a moment to think. You know, it's a little bit longer? Okay. What was that? Yes, you're right. You do think of Google Trends Search Analytics. Oh, you're so good at this. Holy shit. What this will show us is the basic cultural relevance and impact these movies have had, and Google Trends output these as comparative percentages, where 100 being equivalent to the amount of searches that Cyberpunk got last year, and 0 being the amount of people that are happy about it. So what we can do is analyze the peaks of each of these movies, which happen to be around the time of their release, and we can see that Spider-Man 2 sat at a very good 100 back in 2004, Amazing Spider-Man with a very nice 69, and Far From Home also had a good 100. Next up, I thought a good multiplier would be, you know, to see how strong these men actually are, and you know, what better way to do that on a scientific journey than with some good old-fashioned force calculations. Dusting off the old noggin and relearning my FMARs and my initial viscosities or whatever, you know, I determined that it would be best to look at each spider's feats of strength. How strong have they actually been in each of the movies? I mean, here is the footage of everyone's best feats of strength, and here is the footage of me attempting the math. Fuck! Looking at Toby, he stopped a full New York train that one time in about roughly 43 seconds, outputting a final result of about 46,000 newtons. But if we're going off max strength for the same character, then a feat in the previous movie was actually more impressive, with Peter holding up a fully stocked tram car, yielding about 150,000 newtons of force. Garfield really didn't display his maximum strength in any of these movies, so what I had to go off of is this clip of him catching a cop car, where his knees bend into what appears to be, well, terrible squat form. So what we could determine from this is that he could probably do another 8 to 10 reps of this cop car before fail, so the resulting 17,000 newtons of force per rep would probably convert into a 1 rep max of about 136,000 newtons. And lastly, with Holland, he's got that one scene in the previous movie with the rubble, where on closer inspection to the aftermath, we can see that he actually lifts off a giant AC roof unit, where he would need an estimated 58,000 newtons of force to lift it up. So with all the physics that you guys are probably going to correct me for in the comments down below, we can actually use these numbers to, you know, go into the real science of seeing how many kids they could beat up before they get overwhelmed. This quiz that I will leave linked below allows me to enter in various parameters for each Peter, including their builds, ages, heights, and how willing they are to throw hands with a child, in which case Andrew Garfield would absolutely have no issues with. With each form filled out, we come to the base results of Toby taking on about 24 kids, Holland tapping out at a cool 20, and Garfield absolutely going to town with a solid 32. But remember, these aren't counting the boys' individual strength just yet. Now, doing a little bit more math, I'm too stupid for this shit. We can firstly determine how maximally strong each spider is by comparing it to the greatest strength of feat that mankind has ever offered, which came from Paul Anderson, who lifted an astonishing 6,270 pounds, when converted for you normal people out there, is about 28,000 fucking kilos. Converting this for newtons and comparing it with the boys, we can determine that Toby is about 5.5 times stronger, Andrew at about 5 times stronger, and Tom at a measly 2 times stronger. Therefore, Toby should, in theory, be able to take on 132 kids, Tom taking on about 40, and Andrew leaving behind a 160 kid-wide red puddle. Now moving on to our last multiplier, you know, any of these Spider-Men could brag on and on about, you know, how culturally relevant they are, how much they can bench, how many kids they could beat up, but would any of this bragging even matter if they couldn't get their dick wet because of it? Alright, hello and welcome to this part of the video. Today I'm joined by my lovely guest.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just your lovely guest.
Very lovely guest.
I am Timecodes' girlfriend.
Do you have any idea what we're going to be doing today?
No.
Precisely. Alright, so today what I wanted your opinion for is how I wanted to dive deeper into each of the 3 Spider-Men that we have, and what better way to judge a person than like a book. Let me try that again.
Should you be saying don't judge a book by its cover?
Actually, today I want you to judge a book by its cover, because today we're going to be playing the Spider-Man dating game.
Yay.
So the enthusiasm is palpable. What I'm going to be getting you to do, my esteemed guest, is to basically go through what you'd want in a man or a Spider-Man. And at the end of that, we determine which Spider-Man is your ideal man.
Okay.
Question number 1. You see 3 boys in a hallway at high school. Which one catches your eye? The one goofing off and laughing with one of his mates? The one at his locker by himself looking a bit distressed? The one carrying a skateboard around?
Probably the one goofing off, so A.
Why would that be your go-to?
Probably because he'd be laughing like a hyena and it would be the only thing I'd hear in the hall. I'm literally taking it seriously,
Yeah.
like literally which one catches my eye.
When you hear the hyena, you get like the fucking flight or fight instinct and you're just like, okay, that one. Number 2, these boys are caught by your beauty and approach you. Which approach is best? A slight started but genuine attempt at asking how you're going, grabbing your hips for a dip whilst gazing in each other's eyes, proceeds to read you short poetry about your beauty.
I like shy boys because for those of you who don't know, he was a very shy boy.
Eh?
So I go with A as well.
Yeah, I'm just getting roasted here. Alright, number 3. What style is best on a guy? Neat combed over hair with a plain knitted jumper and jeans, a nerdy graphic tee with a math joke on it, a dark blue winter coat.
Oh, this one's hard because I like features of each of them.
Right.
Oh, this one's hard. I'm gonna go with B, a nerdy graphic tee with a math joke on it.
Yeah, okay, you definitely have a type, I can say. Number 4. You like a guy who's passionately romantic, always there for you when it matters, fun to be around. Which quality is most important to you?
I would say probably B, always there for you when it matters.
I like that answer.
Because if they're always there for you when it matters, then that means they'll be fun to be around all the time.
Ah, so there would already be those other 2
Yeah, exactly.
in there. Right,
Yeah.
very smart. She's exploiting the game already. I didn't playtest this.
I play way too many BuzzFeed quizzes. So
Number 5, you're falling to your death. How would you like to be saved by Spider-Man? A, scooped up in his arms while swinging away. B, he catches you in a web of safety like a crash pad. C, he drops you and you die.
because knowing my luck, he'd probably drop me and I'd die.
C?
Yeah. Probably B. I think that would be much more safer. And
Yeah.
then there's less chance of injuring him.
Oh wow, thinking about him too. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. And I think C, if you die, you'd probably be pretty annoyed about that, right?
Yeah, I'd be annoyed in the grave.
Number 6, what attribute is the least of a red flag? A, constantly obsessing over his missing parents. B, doesn't believe in his own actions and is full of regret. C, cries a lot.
Least of a red flag.
Yeah. Yes.
Cries a lot.
You like a guy who cries?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's 2021.
Damn, we're very progressive here. I like
Yeah.
that. Alright.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, number 7, which body is the best?
C is too much for me. I mean, it looks nice, but I think it's too much for me, so I'm gonna have to go with A, but I feel like I know whose abs that is already.
Yeah, so that's, they're actually all photos of me. Number 8, you sit down to eat dinner with Spider-Man. What makes you happier? A, a bowl of cereal. B, pizza time. C, fish and chips.
Oh, pizza time.
That is an
Gotta-
excellent answer.
Gotta have the czar.
Number 9, the 3 boys at school are back and want to chat. Which hobby talks bore you the least? A, fusion reactions. B, skateboarding. C, Lego building.
Which hobby talk bores me the least?
Yeah, so if one of them came up to you and had to talk to you about fusion reactions, like, oh yeah, so like the titanium in the core is like the elemental fucking shit.
Maybe Lego building.
Okay. You walk into the bedroom for sexy time. What's the best way Spidey can greet you? A, he's on the roof without his pants on. B, he's not even there. C, he's underage. I will tell you, there is a wrong answer here.
He's on the roof without his pants on.
That'd be so intimidating. You walk in, he's like, where is he? You look up and there's just like a dangling sort of thing there.
Oh no. Oh no, people are gonna roast me.
And just for fun, fuck, marry, and kill. 3 of them. Let's assume that Tom Holland is his real age of 22. Just to make this easier.
I'd probably F Andrew Garfield. I'd marry Tobey Maguire because I feel like he's got a lot of, qualities of stability and whatnot. And then, I'd kill Tom Holland. I don't think that would be the popular.
If I had Twitter, you'd be roasted right now.
I would have been Cancelled.
Well, just to tally up all of your results here.
I love how you had to wear a lab coat to do this.
It's science. Who do you think you have ended up with, like, with the most points?
I feel like it would be maybe Toby.
Okay, so your worth it winner is...
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. So the person with the least amount of points with only one to their name was Andrew Garfield.
Oh, well, yeah, I had a feeling, to be honest.
The only thing that you answered of his was this one, where he's on the roof without his pants on.
15-year-old me or 14-year-old me would have been.
She would be really into that.
Yeah.
Do I need to do something? Or? Alright, let me just... There is a 1 point difference between the other two.
Oh.
Alright, your worth it winner is in fact the person you decided to kill.
Oh,
Tom
no.
Holland is the winner.
I'm so sorry, Tom Holland.
Unfortunately, Tom Holland will have to die. But just know
You're gonna
that he
kill
will
him
be
now.
missed. Have you learnt a lot about yourself? Have you had fun with this experience? Should I be worried or?
No. I think it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, all for science.
All for science.
Very scientific.
Yeah. So do you want to get scientific back there or?
You're gonna get demonetized.
Okay, wait, let me just get on the roof again.
We now have all the ingredients for our fucked up spider soup. But tell me, what good is ingredients without a recipe? Some sort of formula, perhaps? Oh my. Well, doing a little bit more math, I will kill God myself. I came up with this monstrosity of an equation. We firstly take the logarithm of the domestic opening to the power of the profit margin and drop that in there. Next come the average scores of the Rotten Tomatoes critic scores, the audience score, and the IMDb score. Sprinkle in the amount of awards and nominations each movie has received. Then comes the sum of all our base variables. The reviews, Spider-Man themselves, how memorable they were, the poster scores, the fucking tie-in games, and the memeability. Now for memeability, you probably recall that one of them had 10,000 upvotes, that's fucked up. So to accommodate for this, you know, I don't really want to deal with that. So we're just gonna say that there's a bit of extra umami in the formula there. You know, it's a bit spicy. You know, it smells really rank. Not gonna lie. All that Reddit stink. Then lastly comes our multipliers. The corpse of dead children. The amount of cultural relevance it has. Fucking the amount of Tinder swipes that each spider's gotten. I don't fucking know. And... Oh. Yes. Yes, I think it's working. Who the hell are you?
Wait, hold on a sec. You're telling me an FBI agent came through the door and shot you dead?
Yes, but not exactly.
You didn't want to come to my grandmother's funeral. You could have just said so, man.
But that's not what I'm trying to...
But no! Instead, you come up with this long-winded ass story about Spider-Man 2 for some fucking reason. You know what? Stop. Don't talk to me anymore, right, man? I'm fucking done with you.
Well... He didn't believe me. What did you tell him? Everything. Even the part about beating up the children? Excruciatingly detailed about that, yeah. Well. What do we do about him then? Or this, for a matter of fact. Wait, that's the formula results, right? What does it say? That's Toby, right? As if. But, it really doesn't look like it says anything. Wait, nothing? Then, what does that mean? Maybe it means... There's no truly defined answer as to which Spider-Man is best. Maybe the real best Spider-Man is the one inside our hearts. No, wait, I just had to scroll down a bit. It says that, hey guys, the bubble bath's ready whenever you are. I can do like a bubble bath too, yeah? That sounds pretty good.
Spider-Man is a fictional character created by my bones. Because what can be better than Spider-Man? If not a Spider-Man bones. Jesus Christ. Welcome. Yeah, it's
Okay. Sorry. Oh, I was already recording.
Take me out of your sub box.
But what actually contributes to this score, huh? What are the variables? What are the dependent variables? What are the outcomes? What are the fucking Spider-Mans?
But no! Instead you come through with this fucking
So, when talking about memorability, you know, you actually want to fucking retain what information you've gotten from the movie. So I wanted to see what plot points people could actually try and remember.
Low-key, Cats is amazing and you can watch it.
Low-key, I'm gonna cut that out of the video, so...
Low-key, no.
I don't want you radicalizing any of my fans, alright?
Gimbal Shanks Train Daddy.
Next up, another factor in good movies, believe it or not. Ah, stop. Stop.
Hello, my name's Young Al.
What's this stuff on the internet? What high school did you come from? What are your interests?
We now have all the ingredients for our fucked up spider soup. But what good is ingredients without a... There's no camera there. Without a... Oh, fuck. You have 30 seconds to shout out whatever you want directly into camera. Go ahead.
Buy Tesla stock.
Fuck around the pussy!
But no, instead you come up with this long-winded ass story about Spider-Man 2 for some reason. Like, you know what, man? Just... We're over, okay? This isn't working out. Alright? I never loved you. Your chicken pizza's not even that good. Ah!